Right now at 5:30, Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin scheduled to unveil his 2-year state spending plan tonight. We'll take a look at what to expect from the address.
Also on WKYT this morning, a federal judge has ruled in favor of the owners of a Noah's Ark theme park in a lawsuit about tax breaks.
And we'll take a look at some of the damage left behind after the weekend's winter storm.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Bill Bryan, and we're glad you're with us on WKYT.
Yeah, I'm Rebecca Smith. It is feeling, just great out there, because it's not so cold. You don't have to have on your gloves.
Because the winter storm's over. I like
the
the way
winter,
you said
the
that.
winter storm.
Winter storm.
Just a little blip,
We had one, didn't we?
Yeah,
I'm
it was
telling you.
major.
All right, and folks are still digging out in many cases, but they're going to be helped along with that warmer weather. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Hey, we hit the mid-40s yesterday. That started that melting, and it lasted throughout the night and into this morning. We're still in the 40s this morning. And not only that, but you add to it some light showers flying around, and it's going to help melt that snow. It just continues to melt the snow. But I want to show you this. We're in the mid-40s now, a couple of 50s down toward the southeast. Don't get your hopes up. Look back toward Owensboro at the left of your screen. You're talking about 38 degrees. So things will start to change as we go through the day. They actually drop with the temperatures. We've already hit our high. It gets colder later on this afternoon. I'll show you that and also talk about when this rain moves on out, coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, see you shortly.
Well, tonight, Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin scheduled to unveil a 2-year state spending plan. The governor is already calling for the state to generate more money to fix public shortfalls in retirement systems.
A lot of anticipation about his budget message this evening. In an interview with the Associated Press, Governor Bevin says he will not be raising taxes to deal with the retirements. Let's go to WKYT's Mark Barber, who's joining us live from Frankfort this morning with more on what to expect from the governor's address. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle will certainly be watching very closely tonight to see just how Governor Matt Bevin plans to address the state's pension crisis without raising taxes. Now, those who may be watching even more closely, the hundreds of thousands of police officers, teachers, and state workers whose livelihoods really depend on the state's faltering retirement system. Now, when the governor gives his budget proposal tonight, he is expected to say that he will not fix the multi-billion-dollar pension shortfall by raising taxes. Instead, he's planning to find extra money to put toward the pension problem. That means some funds could be shaved away from other programs, and some programs that hoped for extra money may not see any. Democrat leaders have said that they do not want the state to carry the burden right now. They'd rather borrow money from pensions, or for those pensions, so the state will have time to find a long-term solution. Bevin, however, does not think it's wise to take on more debt to pay off our debts. So we'll see if lawmakers from both parties are able to agree on tonight's proposal. Now, Bevin's speech will be televised at 7 o'clock this evening. So in a little more than 12 hours, we'll be getting our first look, and we'll see just how he plans to propose to save possibly the livelihood of thousands of Kentuckians. Live in Frankfort, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you very much. 7 o'clock tonight on KET is when that will be live this evening. A federal judge has ruled in favor of the owners of a Noah's Ark theme park in a lawsuit over tax breaks.
The judge says the Ark Encounter in Grant County should qualify for tourism-related tax credits from the state. WKYT's Mike Byer is joining us from the live desk.
A federal judge has ruled that Kentucky can't block the Ark Encounter theme park from taking part in a sales tax rebate program just because the park advances religion. The Christian Broadcast Network says Kentucky wasn't going to let the park enjoy the tax rebate because of developer Answers in Genesis religious beliefs, purpose, mission, and message. Now the judge has ordered the state to move forward in processing AIG's application for the available tax rebate incentives that would become effective after the Ark opens. This all started after AIG filed a lawsuit in early February. This is when they accused the state of blocking their application to take part in the sales tax incentive program because of the Ark's project religious messaging and potential preferences in hiring. As for the theme park itself, the 510-foot recreation of Noah's Ark is still on schedule to open July 7th in Williamstown, right off of I-75. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you very much. Throughout much of the state, roads are improving and snow is melting days after a major winter storm hit the Commonwealth. But in southeastern Kentucky, where both freezing rain and heavy snow fell, some people are still without power this morning. One couple in Whitley County has been without power since Friday morning. Since then, Dorothy and Ples Bryant tell us that they have been stuck in their living room trying to stay warm near a heating stove. They say nearly all of the food they had is spoiled, and there's been no timeline for when the power will be restored. Well, all they can do is wait. The Bryants say it has been very frustrating.
I try to have a positive attitude, but it's getting to me.
The Bryants say they have been given no timeline on when the power might be restored. Whenever it is restored, they hope the electric company will clear out brush and limbs near the power lines to help avoid problems like these after storms in the future.
Owners of marinas on Lake Cumberland say the winter storm caused millions of dollars in damage to their business. Roofs and docks collapsed under the weight of heavy snow and ice. Officer Don shot this video from Sky First yesterday afternoon. It shows the damage at Grider Hill Marina in Clinton County. Pretty dramatic.
It was the same scene in Pulaski County. The owner of Lee's Ford Marina estimates the storm caused at least $4 million in damage. Multiple docks collapsed there. The owner says around 250 covered slips are now damaged.
The worst loss in this marina's history. I mean, just have never seen anything like it.
And he says all of the boats that were in the uncovered slips were not damaged. Crews spent yesterday trying to remove as much snow as possible from the covered slips that were not damaged. So they have some that are, some that aren't, and a lot of assessing still going on there. And a lot of it of our marinas and other businesses.
Yeah, hurtful
really,
situation.
Yeah. And after this weekend's blizzard blanketed the East Coast, one big question remains this morning: where to put all that snow?
More than 35 deaths have been blamed on this weather. Many people still are trying to dig themselves out. Chris Welch is in Washington with details.
Millions are digging, bulldozing, and plowing the snow away. The deadly winter storm caused crashes and roof collapses. New York is bouncing back quickly.
Things are not entirely normal today, but a lot of the city is operating well.
But it's a different story in Washington, where the mayor warns the district will be dealing with snow all week.
While we have made some progress, there is still a lot more to do.
D.C. schools remain closed and federal buildings are shut down. The House of Representatives canceled votes for the whole week. Meanwhile, air travelers are feeling the pain as airports slowly return to life. 12,000 flights have been canceled, including more than 1,800 on Monday.
I had 8 cancellations, but you know they've been rolling all the cancellations over. So I'm thrilled to be getting out on time, headed back to New Orleans.
Well, it's been a big,
it's been a mess.
troubling time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Certainly for people traveling and in many cases without power and so forth. So lots of stories. 5:38 now. Democratic presidential contenders took questions at the CNN town hall in Des Moines, Iowa last night, 1 week ahead of the Iowa caucuses.
With Clinton and Sanders neck and neck in the polls, one key theme emerged: Sanders as the revolutionary progressive versus Clinton as the Democrats' best chance to hold the White House. The two rivals drew sharp contrasts with one another. Clinton pushed back against doubts about her ability to attract younger voters and claims that she was late in addressing income inequality. Sanders hit the frontrunner over Iraq, trade, the Keystone Pipeline, and Wall Street regulation. The most recent CNN poll of polls shows Clinton with 46% support in Iowa to Sanders' 44% support, and O'Malley is at 4%. A manhunt is still underway in California for 3 inmates who escaped in Orange County Jail Friday. One inmate is accused of murder, another accused of torture. Orange County Sheriff's Lieutenant Jeff Halleck said yesterday the escapees cut through a 1/4-inch metal plate, crawled through unsecured plumbing tunnels to the roof, and rappelled 4 to 5 stories using sheets. Halleck thinks a fight that happened around 8 o'clock on Friday night was staged to distract the guards while those inmates escaped. Authorities say the search for those inmates has expanded beyond Southern California at this point. A Harrison County man has admitted to scamming his elderly neighbor out of more than $20,000. The Kentucky Attorney General's office says 25-year-old Raymond Wayne Scott pleaded guilty to theft by deception. He agreed to a 5-year prison sentence along with paying restitution to the victim. Investigators have not said how the victim was scammed out of so much money.
A Bell County man is facing charges after police say he damaged a cemetery during the winter storm. Middlesboro police say 42-year-old Lloyd Knuckles is charged with criminal mischief and violating graves. They say Knuckles drove his truck through the Lynch Cemetery Friday, and in the process, police say he damaged at least 3 gravestones. The operator of the cemetery says it hits too close to home.
My son's up there. I lost him when he was 18. I've got grandparents up there. I've got uncles up there, nieces.
Police say Knuckles told them that he was at the cemetery to visit family buried there, but he did not know where the graves were. 5:40 now, 20 before 6, and time to check live drive traffic bright and early this morning and see what is going on. Lots of folks trying to get back to normal after the snow of recent days, and we're looking at current travel looking normal for the most part.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
it's been pretty good. I mean, obviously the city's streets and road crews did a bang-up job of getting a lot of those roads cleared after the winter storm on Friday.
Looking closer into town, as you see there, it's good in the downtown area as well as we spin around and look at most of the major arterials through town looking green and good to go here on your Tuesday morning.
You just see a lot of little puddles around where the snow is melting.
You do that, and the piles.
Yeah,
Avoid
and those, yeah.
Piles of snow. Make that point. Good to have you with us on WKYT on your Tuesday morning.
I was hoping you said piles of cash or something. I'd be like, where's that? I'm going there.
We're not that lucky.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Powerball's over. A 4-legged competitor gave runners some unexpected competition at a recent marathon in Alabama. We'll explain how when WKYT This Morning returns.
And some showers outside this morning, but once this front moves through, it's not about the rain, it's about the cooler air filtering in later on today. I'll show you those numbers coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Scattered showers out and about. Most of this just very light rain, but we are getting some moderate showers here and there. Let's dive right into it. We're looking at Defender Radar Network. And you can see they're scattered out and about. There's not a lot to this, but what this shows you is there is a front moving through. The bigger picture here is not the rain. It's what's going to be happening afterwards. This colder air will be filtering in. But let's focus in on what's going on at this moment. We're looking down 460. 460 is going to be pretty wet. You go into the Eazell community and also Grassy Creek as you kind of pan off toward Morgan County right before you get to West Liberty. West Liberty dealing with some showers too. This is the heavier rain. It's not heavy, but the heavier rain that we're seeing outside. You go down the Mountain Parkway, Campton, and then work your way back towards Stanton. Had some rain this morning. Still some more on the way too. If you're looking down 27, 127, it's going to be a wet go at it. London, you haven't really seen the rain just yet. Give it another 10 minutes or so, and it moves right into downtown London across 75. So these will be wet roadways as you travel this morning. 68, 150 going through Danville and heading off toward Washington County. Yeah, it's a little wet this morning. Florence up north at 46 degrees. Frankfurt at 46.2. Look at Mountain Parkway and also Lexington. Same story. And these roadways are going to be wet. The good news here is I don't see any freezing spots outside. There's not even a chance at that. We're in the mid-40s this morning. I'm going to take you hour by hour. Watch this, okay? Here comes the rain. The rain pushes on through. 40s this morning. But look once that front passes. Yeah, those temperatures really take a dive pretty quickly. So we're in the mid to upper 40s this morning. We'll actually be in the mid to upper 30s later on this afternoon. There's noontime. The rain's already down toward the southeast. Southeastern zones, I would say anywhere from noon to about 4 p.m. is when we start to see it move on out. So it's going to take some time to push over the mountainous region. Just because this isn't a strong system, there's not much kick to it. So Harlan, Middlesboro, you guys no doubt work your way into Whitesburg and back toward Pikeville and Phelps. You guys will have the best opportunity at picking up pretty decent amounts of rain. Other than that, the rest of us just very light. It's about these temperatures though, okay? So it gets pretty chilly later on this afternoon. Overnight and into tomorrow morning, don't forget, we could see a few flurries flying around. No issues out of that, but it's more about the chilly air filtering on in. 20s to start the day tomorrow morning. All right, so we go through your planner. Tomorrow, a few flurries possible, no big issues, but tomorrow's going to be your coldest day at 32 degrees. That's your afternoon high. Thursday and Friday, mainly dry. A few flakes there on Friday, but once again, no problems with that. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s, and then a big warm up there for the weekend. 50s for both Saturday and Sunday. So this is a really good looking forecast. We talked about it yesterday where there's only one day at or below freezing. That's going to be tomorrow with a few flurries here and there. So all in all, this is a good-looking forecast, especially since we just went through a snowstorm just a few days ago. And it's hard to get some warm air in here when you have that snowpack on the ground, but you know what? We're going to be able to do that all the way through the weekend.
Man, mid-50s.
That's good.
Bring it on.
Really good.
Yes.
All right, Micah, thank you so much. Coming up on 548.
So this is a neat story.
Yeah.
A dog's bathroom break turned into her big break as she unknowingly finished a half marathon.
Right. On January 16th, Ludivine, the bloodhound, turned up at the starting line of the Elkmont Half Marathon in Alabama. The dog trotted along with runners for the entire 13.1 miles. She competed without a human or a leash and finished in 7th place. Her owner, who is not a runner, didn't even know about her celebrity dog until a friend called and filled her in on it. Ludivine was presented with a finisher's medal for her big accomplishment. She then went home and took a long nap.
And I'm sure ate a lot too, you know, hoarded herself on bread and steak and all those good things you can do after.
It is amazing, though. Dogs can have good stamina.
I love that dog.
Yeah, that's cute.
That's cool. Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
We're checking on traffic again this morning, see how things are moving along. We have health news and what's hot on the web and social media, and sure is good to have you with us here on WKYT. Good morning and welcome back in. WKYT this morning on the air on your Tuesday, 5:52 right now.
Yeah, we hope your morning's off to a good start. Let's get a look at some of the stories we're working on right now.
Tonight, Governor Matt Bevin will unveil his 2-year state spending plan. The governor is already calling for the state to generate or find more money, he says, to fix shortfalls in public retirement systems. But he's told the Associated Press he will not raise taxes to do that. The governor plans to use any excess state revenue for pensions. The Kentucky retirement system, the teachers' retirement system alone, needs an extra $1 billion over the next 2 years. Governor Bevin's budget address will air at 7 o'clock this evening on KET.
Well, Democratic and Republican presidential candidates continue to make a big push for Iowa voters less than a week before the state's caucuses.
Hillary Clinton touted her experience during a town hall in Iowa last night, while rival Bernie Sanders sought to explain his Democratic Socialist label. On the Republican side, Donald Trump described Ted Cruz as a nasty guy, as Cruz continued to blast Trump's values.
2 anti-abortion activists who prompted an investigation into Planned Parenthood are now facing criminal charges themselves. A Texas grand jury handed down indictments yesterday against David Daleiden and Sandra Merritt for allegedly tampering with a governmental record. The pair were behind secretly recorded videos allegedly showing Planned Parenthood employees trying to sell fetal tissue for profit. Breast cancer survivors may be more vulnerable to common viruses and bacterial infections.
Researchers in England have found that chemotherapy weakens the immune system of breast cancer patients for at least 9 months after treatment.
A new study is fueling the debate over e-cigarettes. Researchers looked at the smoking habits of teenagers in Hawaii. They found that those who vaped were nearly 3 times more likely to start smoking regular cigarettes a year later. Let's get a check right now. Today's traffic travel spots with a look at live drive traffic. Not hearing of too many issues out there this morning. Pretty quiet on the roads. It's warmer. You may see some, puddles of ice melt. So not really an issue in terms of too many slick spots out there. So that's good news for all of us. Time to check what's making news online now with Bill.
Well, on WKYT.com, Kentuckians await Governor Matt Bevin's budget proposal later today. We'll see what he may propose cutting to try to fully fund the state's troubled retirement systems. The governor lays out his plan again at 7 o'clock tonight. We have a story that previews that at WKYT.com. We still have more than 70 school closings or delays this morning as Kentucky continues to dig out from a big winter wallop. Some of the back roads and side streets still slick, even though we've had some warmer weather. It's nice out there this morning, actually. WKYT talked to a couple in southern Kentucky who have been without power since the winter storm hit Friday morning. They describe how they've gotten by with candlelight and a few snacks that they happen to have on hand. For a lot of Kentuckians, it's always fun to beat Tennessee, and the Wildcat women had that thrill last night when they rallied from 10 points, down to beat the Lady Vols last evening, 64-63. Now check out our story and Coach Matthew Mitchell's comments on our website this morning. Over on Kentucky.com, the story of how a UK professor has changed the focus of his research after his son's autism diagnosis. Now he's working to help children and families dealing with autism. CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with your eye opener, and of course we'll have local updates. Hey, join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest news anytime, WKYT.com.
Oh, we have the rain out and about. This is your front moving through. As we talked about yesterday, front moves through during the morning hours, and we'll start to see those temperatures take a dive later on this afternoon. We've already hit our high this morning, so keep in mind the 40s are this morning. Typically when you have the 40s during the morning hours, what happens? You get into the afternoon, it's in the 50s or 60s. Not this go around. Do not plan for a really nice feeling day. It feels great this morning, not so much this afternoon, as these temperatures take about a 10-degree dive once that front actually pushes on through. 46 now in Richmond, but once we get into the afternoon, it'll be right around 36 degrees. Those showers will taper off from west to east, tracking through the morning. I would say around noontime, should be down toward the southeast, and then by 4 p.m. we still have a few left over in the far southeastern zones, mountainous regions, before it tries to kick on out. But after that, a few flurries flies on in, and our temperatures still remain pretty cold. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to get off towards your Friday and off into your weekend. That's when you see these temperatures. They look really cold compared to your weekend. I'm going to talk all about that coming up with another hour of WKYT News. Here's a live look outside on your wet morning. Remember, wet roadways, but no freezing spots to be concerned about. If you're about to take off, have a great day. If you're not, stick with us. We have another hour of WKYT News.